What's your name? You're sexy. Is that unprofessional of me? I don't know. I'm sorry, but like, I'm just like, damn.
That was just that like orange carpet last week, so I would have saw you.
The badge is supposed to be a symbol of trust, a sign that the person wearing it is there to protect and serve. But for a select few, that authority is nothing more than a tool, a key that unlocks a darker set of opportunities. And in a world of constant recording, the very body cameras meant to ensure accountability sometimes end up capturing the slow, chilling moments when an officer's intentions shift from public service to personal gratification. Case 1. In August 2016, an 8-year veteran of the Jackson Police Department, Officer Daryl Stasher, was on patrol when he decided to flirt with a civilian. But this case had two critical twists. First, the evidence didn't come from Stasher's body camera. It came from the civilian's own cell phone. Second, the person he was attempting to seduce was a 17-year-old minor.
34, 20.
Man, I ain't scared to fuck with nobody. What you talking about? Okay, well, why you acting like...
The young woman had the presence of mind to record the entire interaction, and she later posted the footage to Facebook. Within 24 hours, the video went viral, amassing over 24,000 views and sparking public outrage. The footage showed Stasher approaching the minor and wasting no time with his advances. He asked for her number and then explicitly invited her out for sex.
I'm gonna take care of you, so... Well, you can take care of me, but I don't go to room.
Okay, well, where the hell you go? How you do grown folk shit then? What you talking about you don't go?
Okay, you act like I can't stay here and talk to you.
Oh, boy, I mean, I ain't coming out talking shit. I want to do more than talk.
I don't know what you mean.
When she declined, he tried to manipulate her, questioning if she was afraid, and suggesting they could go to a room where nobody would know what they were doing. His language was that of a groomer, testing her boundaries and isolating her. He then made a quid pro quo offer, telling the 17-year-old that he would take care of her if she would take care of him, a thinly veiled solicitation. Throughout the encounter, Stasher seemed completely unaware that he was the one being recorded, a fatal miscalculation that would cost him everything.
He has a zero-tolerance policy for any type of behavior that is obviously displayed on his.
As soon as the video gained traction online, the Jackson Police Department responded. Chief Vance immediately condemned Stasher's actions, calling him an ineffective and careless cop who didn't respect his authority. The department made it clear that Stasher's behavior was not representative of their standards and that they had a zero-tolerance policy for such conduct.
The Jackson Police Department nor how officers are supposed to conduct themselves in the public.
The fallout was swift and decisive. In less than 2 days after the video went viral, Daryl Stasher was fired from his job. The cell phone footage, captured and shared by a courageous young woman, did what body cameras sometimes fail to do. It provided undeniable, publicly vetted proof of an officer's predatory behavior and left his department with no choice but to act. Case 2. On April 17th in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Officer D'Angelo Rice was on patrol when he encountered a woman on the street. The interaction, captured on his body camera, started innocuously enough, with the officer checking on a noise complaint. But the conversation quickly veered away from official business. Rice introduced himself with a false name, Eric, an immediate and conscious act of deception that signaled this was no ordinary police encounter.
My name?
I'm Eric. Okay.
I mean, I heard some noise that direction, but I didn't.
Eric.
Nice to meet you.
You're sexy. Is that unprofessional of me? I don't know. I'm sorry, but like,
I mean,
I'm just like, damn. You just chilling tonight?
He began asking personal questions, learning that the woman was staying at a nearby motel. His tone was casual, but the questions were calculated, probing for vulnerability. He complimented her, calling her "secky," and then asked if his comment was unprofessional, a manipulative tactic to gauge her reaction and normalize his inappropriate behavior. The conversation escalated as he inquired about her plans for the night, subtly suggesting he might wander around her motel later. He then pressed further, asking if she had a room to herself.
You got a room? Okay.
Just me and my dog Felony.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was here that the official record stopped. The body camera footage ceased, plunging the rest of the encounter into darkness. But according to the victim, what happened next was the terrifying culmination of Rice's predatory groundwork. She reported that Rice contacted her later that night and bluntly questioned if she was a prostitute. He had used his access to official police databases to look her up, discovering she had a criminal record.
No, I'm sorry, but like,
I mean,
I'm just like, damn. You just chilling tonight?
Probably.
Okay. If I'm wandering around, where should I wander?
He then allegedly weaponized that information against her. The woman stated that Rice threatened her, remarking how it wouldn't take much to put someone with her record back in prison. She felt trapped, fearing that if she didn't comply, she could be arrested or have evidence planted on her. She later reported to the Special Victims Unit that Rice had raped her. When investigators confronted him, Rice's story crumbled under pressure. He initially denied everything, concocting a bizarre and unsupported claim that the woman was a homicide suspect he was investigating. It was a desperate lie that didn't hold up. Eventually, he admitted to having sex with her, but insisted it was consensual. The evidence and the victim's testimony painted a much darker picture, one of coercion, not consent. On June 9th, after 5 years of service with the Tulsa Police Department, D'Angelo Rice resigned. He was arrested the very next day and charged with first-degree rape. While he continued to maintain his innocence on the rape charge, his attorney acknowledged the misconduct. The body camera had captured the disturbing prelude, a chilling look at how a predator in a uniform laid the trap before the camera went black. Case 3. Former Ohio State Trooper Brian D. Lee wasn't just a case of a single lapse in judgment. He was a serial predator who used his badge as a hunting license. He reportedly used Craigslist to try and lure women while on the job, and his body camera captured a pattern of deeply inappropriate behavior during traffic stops.
Just take her home and handcuff her and just do it.
That was just that like orange carpet last week, so. So I would have saw you. You probably wouldn't have to.
Nice white guy.
You probably wouldn't have had to call your cousin.
Take me home, and I'm wearing a little dress. I'm dressed like a hooker.
One particular video revealed his standard operating procedure. After pulling over a car with a female driver and passenger, Lee immediately abandoned any semblance of professionalism. He began flirting, making unsettling jokes about taking one of them home to handcuff them. When the passenger commented on her own attire, Lee's response was predatory, designed to make her uncomfortable and assert his dominance. The passenger later told the FBI that his behavior was completely out of line for a professional police officer. The situation grew even creepier when Lee ordered the passenger to step out of the car using the pretext of a field sobriety test. As she exited the vehicle, Lee was caught on his own camera, making a damning statement. He quietly suggested that they could play that game once he turned his camera off. It was a direct, recorded admission of his ulterior motives. He was using a legitimate police procedure, the sobriety test, as a tool to isolate and intimidate his target.
Thanks, 1832, check up on her. Said you had nothing there?
No, I did drink a couple glasses of wine earlier at dinner. No, that was
After conducting the test and determining the driver was not intoxicated, he let her go. However, he kept the passenger with him. He then drove the woman to a street near her house. When she asked him what he wanted, his request was bizarre and predatory. He wanted to take a picture with his hand on her chest.
Go ahead
But his harassment didn't end there. Lee later used Facebook to send messages to the woman, proving his actions were part of a larger pattern of stalking. In one message, he mentioned seeing her at a local fair and described in detail what she had been wearing, a chilling indicator that he was continuing to watch her. The passenger's report to the FBI triggered a full investigation. In October, Brian D. Lee pleaded guilty to 4 counts of violating the civil rights of women and 1 felony count of cyberstalking. A federal judge sentenced him to 60 months in federal prison. His own body camera, which he seemed to believe he could control, provided the key evidence that ultimately put him behind bars. Case 4. And it's not just the cops. Civilians are always trying to charm their way out of trouble, too. It's January 5th, 2022, in New Mexico. A patrol officer spots a car swerving across lanes, straddling the road like it's some sort of tightrope. The vehicle's erratic movements and complete disregard for speed limits scream, "Something's off!" So naturally, the officer pulls the car over to investigate.
Hello.
License, registration, proof of insurance?
I'm all
Where are you coming from?
I am coming from my house.
Where are you going?
I'm going to my home.
Where's your home?
Mandarin.
The officer approaches the driver's window and finds a young woman who is clearly not having the best night. Her eyes are glazed over, and as she speaks, her words are slurring in ways that suggest her cocktail count might have been a bit higher than she'd admit.
I promise you guys.
You're driving like 10 miles an hour on the highway, and you're like going out of your lane entirely.
I'm sorry.
The officer, already getting the picture, probes a bit further and asks her if she'd been drinking that night. She insists she hasn't drank that much, her voice carrying that classic tone of "I swear I'm innocent," mixed with just a touch of drunken delusion. She continues to claim that she's a good person. She's charming, or at least trying to be, but the officer is unimpressed. Despite her assurances, the officer isn't swayed by her doe-eyed looks or scattered apologies. Instead, he decides it's time for some field sobriety tests. First up, the classic horizontal gaze nystagmus test, where she's supposed to follow the officer's pen with just her eyes. But her head bobs and weaves like she's at a rock concert, making it crystal clear that her coordination is somewhere on vacation.
Like 3, 4.
3? What drinks? Beer? 6?
Beer, I had a couple tequila shots, but that was it.
Okay.
But
How many's a couple?
Like 2, 3.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Next, the officer explains the walk and turn test, instructing her to take 9 heel-to-toe steps in a straight line, turn, and come back the same way. As she wobbles and stumbles, it's obvious that this line is nothing short of an impossible tightrope walk for her. Her balance goes out the window, along with any hope she had of convincing the officer otherwise. Go.
Hey, sit tight, finish looking for your paperwork, I'll be right back,
I don't
okay?
do weapons, I swear to God.
Well, find the registration for me, and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Stay in the vehicle.
I will be right here.
The officer decides to give her one last chance with the one-leg stand test. She has to lift one leg about 6 inches off the ground and count to 30. She wobbles again, her legs swinging like a flag in the wind, but she persists.
Would you be willing to submit to field sobriety exercises?
Yes, let's do it.
So, with being on the side of the highway, would you be willing for me to transport you to that weigh station over there in my
Let's
vehicle?
pull off to
In my vehicle, because you can't drive. And then I'll drive you over there, and then the other piece, I'll step out.
We can do that. I'm so sorry.
Go to the back.
Finally, the nose touch test. With her eyes closed and her head back, she tries to bring her finger to her nose, but she's so far off target, it's like she's reaching for a nose on a different planet. Each time, her finger lands somewhere different. A bit to the left, a little too high, anywhere but her nose.
Back of my hand, okay?
You're fine.
All right.
I find somewhere well lit, with a straight line.
Yeah.
That's what we're set up, okay?
They'll probably like in the way station.
Yeah.
Let me just hang here with a car.
After getting cuffed, she sighs, finally understanding that her charm routine isn't getting her anywhere tonight. She's escorted to the back of the patrol car and driven to the station, where the paperwork begins. Even at the station, she can't quite let go of the idea that she's a good person, even if her driving that night could have told a different story.
I feel like I saw my shoes on.
Would you feel more comfortable performing?
Fast forward to her court appearance, where she faces charges for DUI and several traffic violations. Her charming, "I'm a good person" defense doesn't exactly work here either. Instead, she's left to face the consequences of her actions.